So lesson 212 gives you an extra day to kind of talk through the question that already came up, and hopefully it comes up for your kids too, like, is that true? Does odd times odd make odd? That's a conjecture. That's like a rule of math that we're not 100% sure because we can't test all the numbers. But if we can think about why it makes sense, we can believe it's probably true, right? Great. So yesterday we started on this patterns of odd and even. Today we're going to explain the patterns even further. What does it mean to be even again? How do we tell if a number's even? Quick review, right? Great. Chris was doing math, and he told his brother something he noticed. He said, I noticed that an even number times an even number is always even. Is Chris's conjecture correct? Explain why or not. If Chris is correct, give an example. If Chris is incorrect, give an example. And I would say, right here is where you say, I want you all to just give this a try. 5 minutes, just do it. Work it out, see what you think. Try some examples. If you get some examples and you make a decision, you have to be able to explain why, because you can't test all the numbers in the world. Right? Like, if you get, like, is 1,248 times 3,578,406 even or odd? You should be able to tell, right? Based on some reasoning. So you let them work, and then you come back together and you have a conversation. Oh, look, it even pops up. Thank you, Pass Lisa. Time to share. So you come back to the carpet, and it's literally that simple. You just share up-to-date ideas. The first thing that's going to happen is you'll just have to generate some examples. Do you know what I mean? Like, what kinds of things did you test out? Right? So that it's convincing just the first thing, right? Like, okay, 2 times 4. And then helping them even say, like, I did that one, that was even. Okay. 6 times 6. I did that one, that was even. Somebody's going to say 3 times 4 is 12. And you're going to say, right? So you got to do a little bit of work to generate some examples. And then you can ask, right? What? Does this make sense? Why? Yeah, and a good little preview to that is, do you think this is always going to be true? Why would you think that's always going to be true, right? This is really, really interesting, and I want to make sure you're clear on what the work is kids need to do to decide if this makes sense. I said it at the very, very beginning. How do we decide if this makes sense? What do we need to think about in order to kind of make meaning out of the fact that an even times an even is always even?
The amount in groups.
So when we talk about thinking about in groups, what we're really doing is we're going back to what we know the definition of multiplication is, right? So anytime you're trying to evaluate a conjecture, you go back to the definition of those things. Like, what is this? This is multiplication. So we have to think about the meaning of multiplication and even. So we have to think about the meaning of even. And if we think about the meaning of multiplication and the meaning of even, we can use that in order to decide why this makes sense. So like you in your mind, right, you jump to like, oh, there's a groups explanation somewhere here. The little baby step that happened is like, well, this is multiplication. What is multiplication? It means groups. I'm going to have to use something to do with groups to explain why this makes sense. That make sense?
Yeah.
And what am I going to say?
When you have an even amount of groups, then it can be even, or when you have an even number in the groups, it can be.
Because why?
Because they're coming together and they're just, if you have an even amount of, so if you have an even amount in each group.
Okay, I'll give you an example.
Yes.
If I have an even amount in each group like this.
Right, so they're coming. When they come together, it's still fair. Like, it's still the same. You're lying. Thank you.
So, if I have an even amount in each group, I can split what's in each group. What about if I have an even number of groups?
And I can split the groups and have a fair amount.
I can split the groups. Isn't that awesome? You guys, I think I like literally just learned it this morning.
Yeah.
I think Monique is like, me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, but because like, and then that's why I need to do that with them, the lines on Monday.
Yeah, the
Because
one for
that's
you,
gonna
one for me.
That's gonna be
The light bulb.
that's what the light bulb was for me.
All right, I'm on board. So then they basically practice testing out two other conjectures on their own and explaining. Odd times odd is their other one that they do, and then the exit slip is even times odd. Okay? Great. You can pause the video, Jesse.